legislature. Okay. So what's they about? Well, if you breathe in deeply, you can get a good idea. A few years ago, the state made recreational marijuana legal. And whether you debate that as a good thing or a bad thing, the next thing you have to do is to be legal, you have to meet certain requirements and licensing to sell marijuana in this state. What we found is over the last few years, you had a couple people that said, I'm not going to bother with a license, and I'm not going to bother with quality control. I'm going to sell whatever I can sell, whether it's legal or not, and I'm going to put it out there. And, you know, the people that have to use it have to worry about their health, because I've done nothing to make my operation legal. I haven't licensed it. I haven't done anything. And when I had cooperation from our county legislature, so I want to say thank you, and from our towns, all of whom want to make sure that the state law is enforced, and if someone is selling marijuana, that it is legal and that they are selling things that will not get people ill if they use it. And the legislature passed some laws that allowed us to crack down on illegal operations and seize their operations. Over the last 2 weeks, in every precinct in Suffolk County, in the 7 precincts, there's been raids with the cooperation of the towns and the sheriff's office to seize those selling. Under the law, we not only padlock their business, but we seize all of their products. And the message is, if you're selling marijuana illegally without a state license, we are going to catch you. We are going to seize all your products and confiscate them, probably burn them. Don't smell too close when we light it on fire. But that's what we're going to do. We are not going to allow the proliferation of illegal marijuana shops in this county. And I'm going to introduce our police commissioner, and he's going to talk a little bit about some of the operations that we undertook. And then I'm going to introduce our sheriff, and then if our legislators or our town officials would like to speak, because in each of these cases, town officials have been extremely helpful in pointing out, hey, what's that shop doing? Well, where is it? Well, you know, it's in Coram, right across from the Coram Diner. Oh, that doesn't have a license. Oh, it does. He made it up himself. Yeah, it's these type of people that we're going to crack down on. We're going to protect the public. We're going to enforce the law. And we're going to say, if the state allows the sale of marijuana, it better be licensed by the state, and it better be legitimate. Because if it's not, we're going to seize all the products, and we're going to padlock the door to all of these places that are selling it illegally. And with that, I'm going to introduce our police commissioner, Kevin Catalina. Kevin?
Good morning. And as always, I want to thank County Executive Romaine and all of the individuals up here today for being a part of this operation. Sheriff's Office, all of our legislators, in particular our town supervisors, Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter, and Babylon Town Supervisor Rich Schaefer, and all of our town supervisors for being so cooperative. And the fact that they're all out here shows really what a big issue this is in the community. So again, I want to thank you all. And I want to stress that this is not an operation targeting marijuana sales. This is an operation targeting illegal marijuana sales. And as the county executive said, once marijuana was legalized, a bunch of individuals took advantage of that and started to sell really with impunity. And, you know, we have, you know, dozens of these places throughout Suffolk County that are selling marijuana, oftentimes are always unregulated, and oftentimes to juveniles and people that they shouldn't be selling it to. So this operation was strictly designed to stop that, and we had a tremendous amount of success, as you can see, with all of the product that we seized up here today. So just a couple of the statistics on this, and then afterwards I want to talk about another search warrant real quick. So of the 44 businesses that we inspected between May 20th and May 22nd, 26 of those were selling items either labeled or packaged as a cannabis product. Most were issued a notice of violation and order to seize. 5 businesses were closed by the towns due to multiple violations. And a lot of those were in Babylon. They did a really phenomenal job over there with their town people. 8 people were arrested on various charges, including 7 people for unlicensed sale of cannabis. During this initiative, the department seized more than 15,000 flavored vape products. So that was kind of a fringe benefit of all of this. I mean, as we know, that's illegal as well. And we seized more than 15,000 THC products. Some of the highlights: bust at Cloud 9V Smoke Shop in Farmingville. We seized 19 boxes of cannabis products and flavored vapes, some of which were on display here. So most of this stuff here, I believe, is from that Cloud 9V Smoke Shop in Farmingville. Simply Green in Coram, a location that has been the source of numerous community complaints. 14 boxes of various cannabis products were removed from the location during the execution of a search warrant. And the places that we hit, we asked our precinct commanders and our town people to give us the spots that were the most problematic in their communities, and those are the spots that we targeted. During the check at Vape Guru and Bayshore, in addition to illegal cannabis, fireworks, including sparklers and smoke bombs, were seized. At the Norm Smoke Shop in Patchogue, nearly 200 cannabis products were recovered, along with 9 Belgian mushroom chocolate bars and 10 chocolate bars containing magic mushrooms, basically. 5 of the arrests for sale occurred at businesses in the 7th Precinct. THC gummy packs, edibles, and plant materials were some of the products seized during the arrests. In addition to that, back in March, we had a case where 13 kids in the William Floyd School District basically overdosed on marijuana products. Some of them had to be removed to the hospital. I think all of them had to go to the hospital. As a result of that incident, we received intelligence that an individual was selling drugs and more than likely responsible for that incident. Today, we executed a search warrant regarding that incident, and we were able to charge that individual with 2 counts of criminal sale of a controlled substance to an undercover police officer. The search warrants are ongoing, and we're looking to connect that directly to that sale back in March. But that individual is currently in custody, and it's an ongoing investigation. So thank you to all of our partners, and I will pass it on to the sheriff.
Good morning, and I'd like to thank County Executive Romaine and Suffolk County Police Commissioner Catalina for this joint collaboration. And clearly you can see in Suffolk County that we are all working together to make sure that any crimes, whether they're cannabis or gang-related, we are going to work together to make sure we go after any individuals. So last week the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office partnered with the Police Department, Town Code Enforcement, and the Fire Marshals on a multi-day cannabis enforcement detail. We provided several staff to ensure that this operation was successful, and our joint effort led to thousands, as Commissioner Catalina stated earlier. And this just isn't about legality, it's more about safety. Products sold outside of regulated channels can be dangerous and untested. Many of these stores were also cited for building and fire code violations. Again, I want to thank our law enforcement partners, our legislators, our town supervisors for this joint collaboration.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Rich, come on up.
Sure. Thank you, Ed. And a big thank you to County Executive Romaine. I know Supervisor Carpenter and I, as well as Councilman Bonner.
She's up next.
She's up, but all the town supervisors have discussed this over and over again, and it's refreshing to have a cooperative venture going with county government, with you at the helm, as well as our police commissioner, Kevin Catalina, and our sheriff, Errol Toulon. In Babylon, I can tell you, Jerry Giganti, who's the retired chief of detectives from the department here, is now our public safety commissioner. And he led our effort in coordination with the 1st Precinct. Of the 6 locations that were inspected and visited, 5 of them were shut down as a result of town code violations. And why I want to stress that is because the county police department has awesome powers under the criminal law, and town governments, as the county executive knows as a former town supervisor, have awesome powers under the building and fire code. And working together instead of apart, we can bring justice to these locations. I can tell you that 3 of the 5 that were shut down have already reached out to us, trying to figure out how do they get reopened. Well, I can tell you one of them was a gas station that was selling what were called loosies. It's an old term for one cigarette at a time. They were doing the same thing with this product. They weren't even legal to have a convenience store at the location. They were doing big business over in West Babylon. One of the other locations was located right next door to a preschool playground at one of our churches in Deer Park. And so these are the types of people that, as the county executive started off by saying, don't have any business operating in our communities. And as he said, the law is the law. If you're going to do it correctly and follow the law. If you're not, you're going to have to deal with Suffolk County and the respective town where you're located, and we will shut you down. And we won't care about whether or not you're not making an income, because the income that you were making was on the backs and possibly the lives of young people or people in the community. So thank you very much for your efforts. We really appreciate it.
Angie?
Like Supervisor Schaefer, we in the town of Islip are so grateful to the county executive, his leadership, and to the police department, Commissioner Catalina, because they have made it abundantly clear that they're just not going to tolerate this. So for us as town government to have this kind of partner truly, truly makes a difference. We sent our fire marshals in with the members of the 3rd Precinct. Our public safety, Matt Murphy's here with me today, and Tony Prudenti. We are absolutely committed. In the town of Islip presently, it is not legal. There are no legal retail operations for the sale of cannabis. And if it were up to me personally, I'd make sure it stayed that way.
Because you opted out.
We opted out.
Not every town opted out.
Unfortunately, but we did. We did opt out, and there's some discussion about possibly opting in, which I think would be a bad move. These are bad actors. They really are, and they're targeting our kids. That is what's so sad to see. If you look at the stuff that's in front of you, the packaging and everything is targeted to appeal to young people. And as the commissioner said, 13 kids going to the hospital because some kid came in with marijuana gummies. It's just absolutely unconscionable. Whatever we can do to stop it, we are committed to make sure that happens. And again, County Executive, thank you so much. Commissioner Catalina, Sheriff Toulon, and everyone who has joined together. This is how we're going to do it. And, of course, the Suffolk County Legislature. Thank you.
Jane? And none of this would be possible, and I want to mention, because our 2 legislators are here, we have 18, unless the legislature passed a law to allow us to go in and enforce this and do what we have to do. So thank you to our county legislators. This is Jane Bonner. She's a longest-serving councilwoman in the town of Brookhaven.
Thank you, County Executive. First, I'd like to thank all of our partners in government and the County Executive for taking this issue so seriously. As a local representative, the town board, our role is very close to the community, and the establishment in quorum had an interesting trajectory, and I'll just say, as the local representative dealing with the very local issues, I get a lot of phone calls from parents and family members very, very fearful for their children vaping in school bathrooms and everywhere. And they're vaping THC. They're buying it illegally. The establishment in quorum, I'm going to approach it a little bit differently than others that have spoken about, does not have the proper zoning. In Brookhaven, we opted in, and we opted in for locations that you could only sell it in proper zoning categories. And in the town of Brookhaven, it would be an industrial zoning. This is a retail zoning. It is not a commercial. It is not an industrial zoning. And the people that opened this shop, advertising all over that they are licensed, and that's another point I'd like to make. People that choose to buy recreational marijuana in an establishment are going on the assumption that this is a legal, legitimate place, and this place wasn't. So they were doing their due diligence, hoping to buy legal, tested, safe marijuana. And in an instance like this, it had the improper zoning classification, and it did not have the proper license. So I appreciate every level of government and our wonderful partners in law enforcement and our county executive and my colleagues on the legislature for understanding the seriousness of this and making sure what people are buying is legitimate. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislators, do either of you wish to comment?
Good morning. I'm Legislator Steve Flotter, and I'm also here, my partner on the Public Safety Committee, Jim Mazzarella. And we, again, that's why we're here today, is we're glad to see this change in the law and everything else, that we're able to enforce things. I actually really congratulate County Executive Romaine. Is one thing he always brings up in his conversations. Too many departments are working as silos, and bringing all the departments together, from police to sheriffs to DA, but also to the towns with their code enforcement, with fire marshals, building codes. We have to work together to sometimes stop these things. One example is really right in front of me, that purple one. I mean, does that look like an adult, adult thing to have? That looks like something you would buy for your 5-year-old, and that's what's part of the danger. And again, we need to make sure they're in the right places, the right zoning, and things are being regulated and done safely. I don't know if my colleague has anything else to say, or
Jim?
Thank you, Legislator Jim Mazzarella, and I'll echo pretty much what everyone else has said as far as the cooperation across the county and through the towns, through law enforcement. We're very fortunate. We have a wonderful group of elected officials and law enforcement officials that act in tandem when we have to go after something as serious as this illegal cannabis sales. I come from the district. I represent the district that had the incident in William Floyd. As was said, those kids were sent to hospitals with an illness. We don't know what is in these products when they are unregulated. So this is not an attempt to go after cannabis as a product in and of itself, which is legal in New York State. We are going after products that are being sold illegally. And the interesting part about that is when we enter into these particular shops, and I'll call them, some of them who are the bad actors, they are dens of illegal activity, because we are coming across sales of illegal marijuana, sales of illegal flavored vaping products, not only to adults but to minors. We are finding that these places are participating in illegal gambling activities, and a lot of times they become quality of life issues because they are surrounded by the characters that are coming in and out of these places to participate in the illegal activity, and the surrounding neighborhoods are being affected by these loiterers that are drinking outside and in some cases defecating or urinating around these buildings. They're leaving trash and garbage around, and it's unfortunate. So if we are acting here as a group to go after the illegal sales of cannabis, I'm happy to report that I think that one step further, this is going to be a huge step in cracking down on quality of life issues as well. So thanks to all of our partners, and especially our County Executive, Ed Romaine, for his leadership.
Yeah, it's an ongoing investigation. It just so happened to we executed a search warrant this morning. So, when we have more information, we'll give you more information on it. But the incident with the 13-year-old kids led to the intelligence that was able to get us controlled buys into an individual.
I know you guys had mentioned that you're probably going to end up burning the rest of the products, but before you burn them, are you going to test for any additives that I know you guys mentioned you don't know what's in them? Are you going to look for any of that stuff before you burn it? 20% of it has something in it, or?
To test all of this product would probably be, impossible. But if we do have any complaints that are tied to the locations where we seized the product, we certainly will test the product that we seized. No, he was a seller to minors. But we don't know where he actually got the gummies. That that is part of the ongoing investigation.
And you had also mentioned that a law was passed that allowed these raids to happen. What was that law?
Well, there are a lot of local laws, within the towns that make this possible. The town laws have a lot more teeth when it comes to closing down buildings, and you could bring in the fire marshal, you could do zoning type stuff. So all of that is extremely helpful in an operation like this, and it's the benefit of bringing all of us together, right, to leverage all of the different powers that we have. Whether it be through the sheriff's office, whether it be the police department or the towns, to hit these people with everything that we could hit them with. So that's kind of what we were referring to.
44 businesses you mentioned, were you led to them by complaints, or did you just take advantage of them?
No, it was complaints. We basically what we did is we asked all 7 precincts to get in touch with their local elected officials, look back to the complaints that they've had within their precincts, and pick the most advantageous locations for us to hit, and that's what we did.
And will this become a regular thing that you guys are going to do?
It's not the last time that we'll be doing this.
Can you talk about the source of this material? It's obviously coming from a wholesaler. Can you pressure wholesalers to sell their products only to license and be licensed?
We think the wholesalers that are selling in New York are probably, doing what's right. I think a lot of this product comes from out of state, particularly California,
And maybe out of country.
possibly out of country as well, yes.
All right, everybody, thank you.